Welcome to this free training resource that I'm going to show you behind the curtain everything that I do with my clients to get them to successfully lose weight and keep it off despite being in high powered jobs and very busy. So, the common problems that we see is, of course, time, not having enough time during the day because you've got busy work schedules and you're busy at home as well with kids or with your partner, whatever it might be. Frequent travel, change in environment, change in time zone. How do we combat that? And your age, whether you're in your 40s and 50s and have this belief that it's more difficult to lose fat and weight now than it was when you were in your 20s and 30s. We're going to break it down as to why this approach is going to work for you despite all these factors. Okay, so before we get into it, just a couple of examples from what you can expect from this kind of approach and process. These guys, again, both in their 40s and high powered jobs or running a business, getting control of your health again is essential and is what you will get from this. And then small incremental change over time and being clear with it. These small things compounded is what's going to get you the result and change your life and get you to lose the weight and keep it off. Okay, especially around obviously your midsection. So just a couple of examples from what you can expect. In terms of my background, briefly, I was a high performance athlete. I was in Team GB and Team England, competed for over 10 years. And a lot of what we implement has come directly from high performance habits and routines that you can implement in your life now that are going to lend themselves to successful and enjoyable weight loss. And also, I'm a qualified nutritionist. We're going to be leveraging nutrition science to make this process as healthy and again as seamless as it can be. Okay, so first off, insulin. You're familiar with it. You may have heard of the term insulin resistance. One thing that we will do is look to reduce your overall glycemic load. And we do this by understanding what carbohydrate sources are available to us and how we pair them. So again, this is using nutrition science to its fullest. Insulin is the fat storage hormone. So we want to reduce the overall volume of insulin in your system if you're having issues around food cravings and things like that. It's not lending itself to you losing weight. So that's the first thing we look at is reducing overall glycemic load via good carbohydrate sources, whether you're at home or on the go. That's going to aid you straight away and immediately. In terms of fat, it is the most calorific nutrient by far. You need to reduce your overall fat consumption. If you were to take two different groups of people and the first group consumed 150, let's say, calories of fat, and the other group consumed 150 calories of carbs, it's the same caloric value, the fat group will put on more weight and store more weight. So it's really crucial that we reduce overall fat consumption and that you understand where hidden fats might be and how you can reduce them. Okay, so two key parts. In terms of the number of meals, it makes no difference to the weight loss process. What's important is that we front load the day well so that you are ticking boxes and you start the day well before you even leave the house. So we front load with hydration, the right supplements, the right food choices that are quick to make, taste good, enjoyable to have, so that you're winning before you leave the house. This is going to lend itself to a successful day and act as a springboard to good choices later on. So that's one thing to consider. Okay, hormones. We've spoke about insulin. Leptin is another one. Okay, we're getting a bit sciencey here, but there's something called leptin resistance as well. And we need to reduce your overall fructose consumption because this is going to calm down food noise and help you reach fullness quicker if these hormones are all in check. Excuse me. So, with the exception of fruits, because we need that, fruits got micronutrient value, other health benefits. We're going to reduce fructose consumption as well to ensure that you're in a good place. Now, protein, you're aware of its importance. It's going to be crucial for maintaining muscle mass. Muscle tissue is very expensive in terms of energy, so we need to keep your muscle mass high by consuming enough protein and also to ensure that you're recovering from any training that you're doing and getting you the change in physique that you want. It's also going to help you reach fullness quicker as well in terms of being satisfied around food. So overconsumption of protein is also a big no, because going too far the other way is going to accelerate aging because you're going to elevate levels of hormones in your body that you don't want. And this is where you get this kind of split. Okay, carbs equal energy. You need good carbohydrate sources to fuel your performance and energy and how you feel, whilst adhering to the right protein volume and obviously keeping your fat volume relatively low. So that's the approach nutritionally, in terms of the basics of it. Sleep is a crucial element of weight loss. We will look at your sleep, whether you're waking up in the night, whether you think that you're sleeping well, how can we make you sleep better? And if you're sleeping poorly, We need to look at your pre-bed routine and small things that are easy to do that are going to stack up to help you sleep better. And again, it will support the weight loss process because sleep regulates hormone health, testosterone, but also things like ghrelin, leptin, and these are hormones that signal for hunger or fullness. So the more in tune these hormones are, the much easier you will find it to lose weight. So plus there's a ton of other benefits when it comes to sleeping well. So these four things, this is why my practice is called C4, is because all these four things combined lead to high performance and also weight loss. And they've got a very, very close relationship. So we're going to leverage all of them, areas in all of them, okay? So first off, training. You might not want to go to a gym. That's absolutely fine. I would say 70% of the guys I work with don't set foot in a gym. You need two pieces of equipment and to train for no longer than between 30 to 40 minutes each time that you train, 3 times a week. And that's going to transform your body, transform your health, your energy, and it's going to, again, significantly support the weight loss process. Not because of the energy that you burn during the training. It's not about burning calories. It's about changing your physique and increasing muscle mass and making you healthier, and obviously increasing confidence as well. So the training side, 2 pieces of equipment at home, 30 minutes, 3 times a week. You can do it no matter who you are, no matter your schedule, and it's going to form a key part of this. Stress and sleep you put together. So how do we supplement? What do we do pre-bed to improve sleep? As we mentioned, I'm going to keep this very kind of clear and easy to stick with. Carbs is a common myth. You need some carbs about 3 hours before bed to increase what's called tryptophan, which is a precursor to melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. This will get you waking up feeling fresher, sharper, with more energy, having slept better, rather than feeling groggy and slow. Okay, so it's really transformative. And that feeds into stress because sleep will regulate stress because it regulates hormones. But also, how do we suppress your stress response and keep your stress levels low with whatever's happening in your life, whether it's to do with work or home or both? How do we manage that and keep your stress levels balanced and healthy? Because stress, when it's elevated, will put fat into storage. So we need to address that. So lastly, nutrition, the most sort of the one that people struggle with the most. And we'll clear this up with the right approach, the right plan for you once we've understood what foods you like, what foods you don't. But looking at your environment and how we change it, like we said, glycemic load, reducing that, having a clear evening routine by front loading the day, and also increasing your fiber intake because fiber forms a key role in making you feel full quicker, but also keeping you healthy when it comes to immune health, protecting from disease, and just making you feel good in general. So these 4 things together are immensely powerful, and that's what we leverage and use in this approach with these guys to get them performing, energized, healthy, and losing weight every single week. And it's not going to happen overnight because think about how long it took to get here in terms of being in the shape that you're in. It's about small incremental change over time, but the first 2 weeks are the most crucial. That's where we need to make significant changes in your weight, and that will act as a springboard into the coming weeks because you can see it working and believe that it works. It boosts morale and it will keep you going. So these 2 examples we saw earlier, but some more examples here of losing between half a kilo to a kilo per week. You don't want to lose too much weight too fast. Otherwise you will put that weight back on and then maybe some more because you've been too extreme in cutting calories or been too extreme with behavior. You can't make that sustainable. This is a sustainable long-term process. And again, some examples from other guys that I work with who are in full-time sort of high-powered jobs. So I hope this makes sense. You can speed this video up to make it a bit quicker, to make it more like 5 or 6 minutes. Of course, if you've got questions, feel free to reach out. I'm going to put a link below that you can hit for more info. And if you want to speak to me one-to-one, you can as well. I'll be happy to chat with you and see where I can help. Okay, thanks and stay tuned.